The first Thanksgiving game this past Thursday was Chicago Bears visiting the Detroit Lions and defeating them 16-14 by kicking a field goal in the closing moments of the game. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, at times looked a little bit suspect in this game, but came out on top as he threw for 24 completions on 39 attempts, getting that one touchdown and the one interception. But the story of this game is the fact that they went with the run game and didn't give up, even though they were having issues getting yards per carry. David Montgomery, 17 carries, only 2.7 yards a carry. Khalil Herbert, 4 carries, 2.3 yards per carry. Darnell Mooney only had 1 carry for 2 yards. And Jakeem Grant had a carry for nothing. Nothing. But Andy Dalton with that 317 yards and this Chicago Bears defense, which was coming up with timely stops to help Chicago get over the Detroit Lions. Now, as many of you know, the Detroit Lions traded earlier in the offseason for Jared Goff, who, by his standards, had a fantastic day. Yes, he only threw for 171 yards, which is kind of pedestrian, but 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and was 21 of 25. Wow. 4 incompletions the entire night against this Chicago Bears defense. I must say that's actually pretty impressive in my opinion. But what helped also, DeAndre Swift went out in this game with a shoulder sprain early on, only had 3 carries for 0 yards. Jamal Williams came in to help relieve him and actually did a very, very good job on 15 carries, averaging 4.3 yards a carry. Against this defense, pretty darn solid. Josh Reynolds, who was a new acquisition after he was released by the Titans, had 3 of those catches from Jared Goff, 70 yards and a touchdown on 5 targets. And TJ Hawkinson had 3 catches on all 3 of his targets for 35 yards and a touchdown. This game by no means was a barn burner. It wasn't something that everybody in the NFL who sat there at noon on Thanksgiving was like, oh my goodness. But I must say this. After the game, there was a lot of people talking about how the Detroit Lions should give up the rights to the Thanksgiving Day game because they just have not been good like ever. But I want to push back on this. Because back in like 1933, the NFL wanted somebody to play and host a Thanksgiving game. And every team in the league refused, except Detroit. Detroit said, you find someone to play against us, we'll not only play in it, but we'll host that game as well. And we'll do it consistently, year after year. And that's huge back then because you think about it, it's not just the players and the coaches, but they're hosting it. Which means all these people, stadium workers and things of that nature, they're not with their families on the Thanksgiving holiday. They're working this holiday. And they're the only team in the NFL to do that. I understand that Detroit's not very good, but if it wasn't for Detroit, there wouldn't be a Thanksgiving game to even play. Now we have 3 of them. So yes, even though Detroit's not playing the best, they still deserve, in my opinion, to play this game because it was not for them, there wouldn't be one. That's why we have 3 games now. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts signed pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. In the second game of the Thanksgiving holiday, the Las Vegas Raiders traveled to Dallas and defeated the Cowboys by a score of 36-33 in overtime in a game that raises a ton of questions about when referees and how often they should bring up the flag and call a penalty. Both teams were flagged 14 times. That's 28 flags and penalties in this game, drawing this out way beyond what it needed to be. And many of them, much of which were holding calls, were considered to be a bit on the tic-tac side that didn't even have any kind of effect on the actual play. Or even when when the center looks down at the football and then looks back up, which every center in the NFL does, was called for a false start. Questioning, are these referees just trying to be the center of the game? Or is there a deeper problem? In this game, it was an aerial attack that was an absolute blast to watch. Both quarterbacks in this game had fantastic games. Derek Carr, 24 of 39, 373 yards and a touchdown. And his opponent, Dak Prescott, 32 of 47, 375, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Oh my goodness. But the Dallas Cowboys fans are livid. Why? Ezekiel Elliott is the big-time contract money holder right now, having, so much money per year on this new contract, and he only got 9 carries and averaged only 2.8 yards a carry, while his backup, Tony Pollard, had 10 carries and averaged 3.6 yards per carry. The question is, why is Zeke not getting the ball more? Why isn't he being more effective later in the season? And what can they do to adjust that contract to help the team out? Now, in a game where the majority of those stars, CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, was not able to play, Dak did not have a problem finding targets. Michael Gallup, 5 catches, 106 yards. Wilson had 7 catches for 104 yards. And he went to other people for touchdowns. Dalton Schultz had a touchdown. Sean McKeon had a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. But we go over to the Raiders. It was the running game that was able to help solidify this game, as they were able to keep control of the football and keep the ball longer on offense, winning that time of possession by quite a majority, as Josh Jacobs carried the ball 22 times for a touchdown, and Kenyon Drake added another 7 carries. Wow, what a play. There was some questions as certain quarterbacks out there, namely Marcus Mariota, played in this game a couple times, even threw the football for a touchdown. Hunter Renfrow had himself a game, 8 catches, 134 yards. Deshaun Jackson out there showing his speed to help with the whole Ruggs situation. 3 catches, 102 yards, and that touchdown on the 4 targets. My goodness, the Raiders outlasted them in overtime to defeat the Cowboys. In the third and final game of the Thanksgiving holiday, the Buffalo Bills went to the New Orleans Saints and just obliterated them, 31-6. This is a game that Buffalo absolutely needed to get back right after the blowout loss to the Indianapolis Colts just 4 days prior. In this game, the Saints head coach Sean Payton brought out his D2 level offense because everybody else was hurt. Everybody. They had their third string quarterback, Trevor Siemian, and even running backs, Tony Jones out there running the football. There was just no way. If Sean Payton found a way to win this game, he would have, in my opinion, earned Coach of the Year just to be able to pull that off because of the offense that he had to be able to put out on this field. In this game, Siemian, 17 of 29, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tony Jones carried the ball 16 times, only 1.7 yards per carry. Ty Montgomery added 6 more carries for 14 yards at 2.3. So he's a tad bit better on much less carries. Receiver-wise, Lil Jordan Humphrey led in yardage on 3 catches of 5 targets for 47 yards. Ty Montgomery led in receptions, 7 targets, 5 catches, but only 31. Nick Vannett was your touchdown guy. They went for 2 and failed. Now, for the Buffalo Bills, they wanted to shake that soft. Everybody's calling him soft ever since the Colts game. Josh Allen still came back, had a pretty good game overall, even though he struggled early in the first half. He threw 2 interceptions, but he finished the game 23 of 28, 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. And they ran the ball. They ran the ball against a Saints defense that was actually pretty healthy. Devin Singletary, 15 carries, 44 yards. Not the highest impressive average at 2.9 yards per carry. Breida as well added another 9 carries for 26. The same, 2.9 yards per carry. But at least the running backs ran the ball 24 times. That helped kind of ease that pass rush off of Josh Allen. Of course, Josh Allen still had his rushing attempts as well. 8 carries, 43 yards, almost 5.5 yards a carry. Stephon Diggs came back in a big way after he was basically non-existent this past Sunday. 7 catches on 9 targets, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Dawson Knox continuing to have a great season after coming back from the injury. 3 catches on 3 targets, 32 yards, 2 touchdowns. Breida added the other touchdown on a reception. The Buffalo Bills now have reached the 7-4 spot, retaking the AFC East division over the New England Patriots with this win on Thanksgiving due to having a better divisional record than the New England Patriots. Where are the Saints going to be after this now that they have dropped below 500 to a full 5-6 record on the season thus far? We'll only speculate until we see some of these offensive players come back to be able to play. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button. Follow me here on Newsbreak. Share this to your favorite social media. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen, and as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.